can't do this. Take me away from Mom.
In 1952, Life magazine journalist asked Marilyn Monroe what she wore to bed. Her now legendary reply was, "Only a few drops of Chanel No. 5. American critic Michael Wood once wrote, "Marilyn in the 1950s represented the height of the American illusion. She embodied every man's love affair with America. She was the beautiful blonde, with her soft, breathy voice and an air of absolute innocence. She was our angel, the sweet angel of sex."
Someone broke my heart in Little Rock, so I up and left the pieces there.
Yet no one has ever fully understood who Norma Jeane Mortensen truly was. Marilyn Monroe was the last great Hollywood icon of an era when television was beginning to reshape visual culture and dominate mass communication.
Ness'll never let you go alone.
Sometimes Mr. Esmond finds it very difficult to say no to me.
She was famously and controversially described by director Otto Preminger as nothing with nipples. In reality, she was an almost surreal combination of childlike innocence and captivating sex appeal.
No, don't say another word.
For millions of moviegoers, Marilyn represented a forbidden fantasy unlike any other. At the same time, she became a feminine ideal throughout the 1950s and 1960s. There had already been many sex symbols, Billy Wilder recalled, but only a few actresses possessed the same overwhelming physical magnetism: Clara Bow, Jean Harlow, and Rita Hayworth.
Aren't you funny? Don't you know that a man being rich is like a girl being pretty?
The popular magazines of the day gave her colorful nicknames: Miss Flamethrower, the girl who could thaw Alaska, and the girl with the horizontal walk. Yet somewhere between charm and innocence, accessibility and vulnerability, Marilyn became trapped by the very image that had made her famous. Lips too red, dresses too tight, hair too blonde, skin impossibly pale. Everything about her seemed designed to embody the male fantasy. If Greta Garbo had come to represent the very idea of womanhood, Marilyn became the embodiment of the female body itself. Charm and fragility defined her life, a turbulent existence that culminated in a premature death, still surrounded by mystery to this day. That mystery only strengthened her legend, ensuring that it would be passed from one generation to the next. Marilyn constantly struggled to remain true to herself while earning recognition as a serious actress. Her emotions were in perpetual conflict with the feeling of being reduced to a symbol, an object rather than a person. In the eyes of many, the woman herself gradually disappeared behind a pair of lips, a distinctive walk, and 3 famous measurements: 38, 24, 36. Even a dress became part of the mythology. On May 19, 1962, at Madison Square Garden, Marilyn performed "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" for John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Fashion designer Jean-Louis created a gown for the occasion costing approximately $12,000 and covered entirely with hand-sewn rhinestones. Under the stage lights, the flesh-colored fabric appeared almost transparent, creating the illusion of nudity. Legend has it that the dress was literally sewn onto her body. Years later, it would become one of the most iconic garments ever sold at auction. More than 60 years after her death, advertisements, posters, souvenirs, cigarette lighters, mugs, and t-shirts continue to reproduce her glamorous image. Platinum blonde hair, porcelain skin, the iconic beauty mark, vivid red lips, and that radiant smile. These are the features that have become permanently embedded in the collective imagination, far more than the woman who once gave them life. In the Miss Golden Dreams calendar, Marilyn appears against a backdrop of rich red velvet. Her slender, flawless body is captured in an almost acrobatic pose. Despite the nudity, the image retains a surprisingly chaste quality, resembling the study of a figure in motion, poised to take flight. Only her sidelong gaze reveals a subtle, sensual connection with the viewer. It is no coincidence that the first issue of Playboy, published in 1953, featured her both on the cover and in its now famous centerfold, using photographs that had been taken years earlier. Sold for just 25 cents, the inaugural issue surpassed 50,000 copies. In the years that followed, the magazine repeatedly republished those photographs, making Marilyn one of its enduring symbols.
I was afraid you'd misunderstand about that.
Oh, what's to misunderstand? A man's wife spends 5 years on an island with a strange man,
Would you like it any better if I knew him?
and it slips her mind?
Following the established formula of celebrity magazines, Marilyn's private life also became a product for public consumption. The intimacy of a Hollywood star was expected to be consumed by readers. The studios, however, had little patience for her repeated attempts to be authentic, or for her determination to be regarded as something more than a beautiful image. Marilyn herself once said, "People have a habit of looking at me as though I were a mirror instead of a person. They don't see me, they see their own thoughts. Then they disguise them as innocence and call me indecent." Not even her death, in August 1962, consigned her to oblivion. On the contrary, Marilyn became an object of fascination and devotion. Her image seemed untouched by time, immune to aging, and even to the decline that every human being inevitably experiences. Marilyn, the nothingness with nipples. Marilyn, the cinema icon. Marilyn, fragile and fickle. Marilyn, eternally torn between being Marilyn and being, simply, Norma Jeane.